Alright guys, welcome back. So I just wanted to start this video off by giving a big thank you to everybody that, got involved and left a comment on the last video I did on this hidden gun and, kind of shared their opinion on what direction we should go with the project, whether you guys preferred springs or the cap method. It was just really great to see everyone getting involved with the project. So massive thank you to you guys. From what I could tell, pretty much most people on Facebook and Instagram were leaning towards the spring method, whereas most of you guys on YouTube were going towards the cap method. We had some really interesting suggestions from you guys. So, some of you guys were saying to use the spring method and the cap method simultaneously. I didn't really see that as a viable solution, just because if you're going to have the cap in there for the sound, then you might as well use it as your method of shooting the projectile as well. It doesn't really make sense to have a separate system for both when you can kill two birds with one stone and achieve both purposes or both functions with the cap by itself. It's going to over-engineer the whole project. So I didn't want to do that. Some of you guys said to put a speaker in there. Now, let's be real, none of those speaker toys ever sound good anyway. Plus, I'm not Mattel, I'm not Hasbro, I don't have access to those kind of resources to start, putting speakers and soundboards in these things. Plus, then you got to deal with batteries and all that headache and stuff that carries on with it too. So I didn't see that as a solution. So ultimately what I've decided is I'm going to stick with the spring method. It works. The user experience of this thing's a lot of fun right now because I was able to make everything have a purpose. I think some of you guys were forgetting that I've literally designed this from the ground up to be the spring system. Trying to make it look like it does in the game is a challenge in itself. But then also giving everything a purpose, is also a whole other task as well. And I've done that with this spring system, whereas the cap method, you don't really need all these moving parts. So I think just as a functional prop, this isn't intended to be a crazy powerful BB gun or an airsoft rifle. It's really just a functional replica, something safe for conventions. I think the functionality of it is bang on right now, and it's a lot of fun to use just because everything, actually does something. So yeah, we're gonna go with the spring method, and then in the future, when I get round to it, I'll do the cap method as well, and then that way you guys can pick. But initially, we're just gonna go with the spring method. So hopefully you guys are happy with that. You can get on board with it. And to anyone that wanted the caps, you're just gonna have to wait, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. That's what's happening, guys.